Where? Where am I? I feel like I've had a bad dream. Am I in SpongeBob's house? As in the SpongeBob SquarePants? Hold on, I gotta check. Oh my god. I am a one-legged SpongeBob SquarePants. I thought it was all just a dream. I thought it was just a bad nightmare. Oh my god. I can't believe this. I have turned into SpongeBob SquarePants. There's no way. Is this true? So that dream I had last night, it wasn't just a dream. Alright, I need to change out of this one leg. Okay, now I got no legs. So you're telling me I'm just SpongeBob Square? Because he ain't got no pants.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I guess now that I'm SpongeBob, I guess this means I can live the life of SpongeBob. Let's see. Why? Every time I keep turning into one-legged SpongeBob. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's see. I'm sorry guys, you're gonna have to deal with this, but let's see. This is the real test right here.
Gary! Gary, where are you? Meow.
Let's see. Where is he? Where's my Gary? Hello. That is so bad.
Damn it, SpongeBob!
Oh my god.
Ah. Oh.
Ark. Wait. Ark. Hey, me boy. You got me money. We're searching back this SpongeBob. I think we could do pretty good SpongeBob. Alright.
Hey, Squidward. 2021.
2021 though. New year, new me. Let's go on this SpongeBob adventure. This new SpongeBob episode. For this episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, I wanted to take this time to sort of reflect over the year. I ended up making a tier list of the total games that were available throughout the year. And it, honestly, making it made me realize how little games I've actually played. I guess we're gonna keep walking. Let's take a look around. Oh my god. Sandy, I need help. I guess she karate chopped the wood, the chair. Oh my god. I'm upside down, Sandy. But so, I wanted to take the time. Hold on. It feels like somebody's trying to sell me something.
I told you he was on to us.
Okay, looks like we're good. But so I made a list of my top 5 games of 2020. So these are games that came out this year, and they're games that I've completed. So there are some games, like for example, Ghost of Tsushima, that's not on this list because I picked it up. I only played like 20 minutes, and then I stopped playing. So it's gonna be games that I've completed all the way through. For my first game, we're going in order from number 5 is the least favorite, I guess, and then number 1 is top. So we'll go 5 to 1. Number 5, Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is my most played game of 2020. I play it every day. I always log on every day, do my dailies, do my commissions, gather the resources that I need, and then I just do everything to try to level up and maximize my characters and my team comp. Honestly, it's one of the better things of 2020. There's a lot of unique characters. The huge roster is what kind of keeps me interested. How each of them have their own moveset. So the element-based gameplay, you know, like Pyro reacting to the electric elements, or Hydro, you know, so things like that. It's just a lot of fun. I love the community around it. Pretty cool, except for sometimes, you know, like, I don't know, the Zhongli thing. A lot of people are getting crazy about that, you know. It's like but overall it's really enjoyable. I love the music in the game. Every region has their own unique sound and feel to it, and then the music kind of just adds to the atmosphere. The art style, it has a lot of color, but yet it looks very kind of serene, but then aggressive when it wants to be, you know, like certain character designs or enemy designs. It's very cool. It's very nice, visually pleasing. The exploration, that is one of the biggest reasons or biggest things that made me fall in love with the game, was like when you first start playing through the story, where the story so far, because it's not nearly completed at all, but playing through the story itself is actually, I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was it's very reliant on the character personalities, so you get to understand character motivations and kind of build a bond with these characters, especially since you get to use them. So it's like you kind of get to grow a soft spot for them. Like, for example, for me, it's Venti. I love Venti. That Venti is the best. It's a great game. Also, one of the best things is they're constantly updating it, so that's what I love. As for what I don't like how greedy the gacha mechanics are, or the microtransactions in general. It's so expensive. So for example, like if you wanted to get a 5-star, there's a soft pity when you get 70 pulls, and that takes a lot. For example, like $30, it only gets you like around 20-ish pulls. It's pretty crazy how expensive things are. And they also have a battle pass, which only lasts like 40 days or so. But yeah, I enjoyed the base game. It's just the pricing of things is really off-putting. Plus, the resource gathering, it can be really tedious at times. Like, for ascending characters, you have to get certain materials for each of them. Certain plants or world bosses drop different ascension materials for each character based on their element. So sometimes you're capped by resin, so you gotta wait or whatever for that, or just going around the map and getting resources, and also having to wait too, because once you get the resources, it's limited per like 2 days, every 2 days. So once you get all the resources, you have to wait 2 days to get even more, or you could just join another person's world. But it's like, I'm a lazy guy. I kind of hate going around the world and just meticulously picking up like a mushroom from a house, you know, or on a tree. It's like, come on. This one's kind of nitpicky, but the co-op, I feel like they missed a huge opportunity on the co-op. It's like they could have done a lot more. They could have made it a lot better, implemented it a lot better into the game. Like, you can't really do quests together, which sucks. Like, a lot of interactions too. You can't use shops while you're in co-op. You can't do a lot of things while you're in co-op. So it kind of forces you into playing solo, because co-op, it's like a lot of things are limited. All you can really do in co-op is just open chests and explore the world. That's about it. You know, go get Sealies or the Oculuses. That's, yeah, come on. So Genshin, please get your co-op together, and then you'll be good. But yeah, my most played game of 2020. For my 4th game of the year, it would have to go to Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. The game was amazing. Can't really talk much about it because it's the same as Devil May Cry 5, so it just kind of builds on that by just adding Virgil and a couple new modes. So they add legendary Dark Knight mode, where a lot more enemies that spawn in the game, and then they added ray tracing. That's not a mode, but it's a feature. They added ray tracing, and then 120 hertz, I believe. So the game can run up to 120 hertz next gen consoles, which is pretty cool. As well as obviously the main selling point was Virgil. I played as Virgil, obviously, because that's like why you would want to buy Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. So playing through as Virgil, it's a lot of fun. His character design, it's really fun. He feels so strong to play as, and then the game itself obviously is just amazing. You know, Devil May Cry 5 is already good, so it's kind of cheating because it's just kind of like a re-release of an already great game, but I enjoyed it nonetheless this year. The music, Virgil's theme of Bury the Light, is probably one of the best songs in a game this year that I know of. Just in general, all the characters have really good themes. Maybe not so much V, but yeah, there's that. But obviously, since it has all the good sides of DMC5, because it is just DMC5, it also has the bad sides, the downfalls. So that includes V, the character of V. If you play through the story in DMC5, like just the vanilla story, you get to play as Dante, Nero, and V. And then V is definitely the most lackluster part of the campaign. Like, all you have to really do is button mash with V compared to the other characters. Like, the other characters is more fun and engaging, but then V is like, I don't know, because you're a lot slower as V himself, but then you command his minions, and it just feels really slow and easy. So all you have to do really is just spam. But yeah, the game is DMC5 SC, number 4 on my top 5 games of the year. Great game, amazing game. My number 3 game of the year would have to be Cyberpunk 2077. I can't really say much that hasn't been said already. It was honestly, it was both a good game and a disappointing game, as everyone knows. But I enjoyed it for what it was. I came in with a lot of high expectations, obviously, because rightfully so, because of all the advertising material that they made that showcased the game as being more RPG-like. But for what it was pretty good. It was a lot more open world based, and then a lot more side questy, a lot more like trivial side quests, like rinse and repeat stuff. But they also had some good ones, like with like certain side characters that were really good, like those storylines, like the actual storylines, the actual side quests that weren't rinse and repeat. Those were really good. But the game, for the most part, I'd say it beat both Genshin and DMC5 because it took more risk, I guess. I'm not saying Genshin didn't take a risk, because, you know, this is a new game, but Genshin, the biggest drawback is the monetary aspect of it, and how there's not really the game's not really finished. It's nowhere close to finish. They're gonna keep updating that game and everything. But Cyberpunk, it seems more risky. And then, as a complete experience, like a standalone experience, it was really fun. I enjoyed the time I had with it. The gameplay was pretty solid on the first run. I did a pistol only build for my first run, so I would stealth around. It was like a stealth pistol build where I would just one-shot every enemy pretty much just by shooting them in the head. It was really good. I would just shoot them with a silenced pistol in the head. But so the gameplay was pretty fun in my first run. The story, the characters are very memorable. Johnny Silverhand is like amazing. I love the how you're introduced to Johnny Silverhand and how you get to play as him. That's one of the most memorable moments from the game. But yeah, all the characters, Pan Am, of course, Jackie, Judy, all the characters are great. Evelyn, Deshawn, Man, the Sean. But yeah, oh yeah, the music. The music. This is like the running theme with all these games, is the music is really good in Cyberpunk as well. Johnny Silverhand's theme is really memorable, as well as V's theme is pretty good. But I'm kind of disappointed that the radio music didn't stand out as much. Maybe it's because they don't have, like, when you go through the radio, you can't see what songs are playing on the radio, what specific song that is playing. But I don't know, it didn't seem very memorable for the songs on the radio. But for the soundtrack, like the in-game, like when you're in battle, like the themes and stuff, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. But obviously also the graphics and the detail, the attention to detail, it's very, very good. Very gorgeous looking game. But then for the downfalls of the game, obviously the biggest thing being all the bugs. It's been spoken to death about, so I won't really speak much on it. But for me personally, I didn't run into any crazy game-breaking bugs. All I ran into was like small annoying bugs that were kind of immersion breaking. Like, for example, every time I looked into a mirror, my character was bald, so that was kind of annoying. But yeah, so there's that, and it's just small things that brings the game down for me. Like I was saying, my expectations, I was hoping it was more of an RPG game, so like more choices, more paths that you can take to do, you know, instead of like a linear kind of story. And then the concept of choices and stuff, it seems very trivial in this case, because I wish there was more replayability. I think that's the biggest thing for me right now, is I have no reason to play the game. I have about 55 hours in the game, so I beat the game and then I started a new character to try it out, just to try playing the game again. But when I first beat the game, I tried beating the game multiple other ways too, like to get multiple different endings, and I don't know, I wasn't satisfied. The biggest disappointment is replayability, because also the gameplay isn't that enticing for me to go back, because you can exploit a lot of things, or just in general too, the gameplay isn't that captivating, like that much fun, you know. Like I'm not rushing to go back to try out a katana build or whatever, because it takes a while to level up too. And then certain, or a large part of story missions and interactions with characters are unskippable. So if you do replay the game, you're gonna have to sit through a lot of dialogue, which is really frustrating and annoying if you're trying to replay the game. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is just the replayability. It's not really there for me personally. Also, the clothing choice, or the clothing options in the game, are really ugly most of the time. So clothing is tied to armor, so certain clothing pieces has better armor than others. But then usually for me, when I was playing, like best clothing that I owned in terms of like their armor stats looked the ugliest. So my character would be wearing like a really ugly like pink bunny hat, and then like, I don't know, in his underwear or whatever. I don't know, you know? It's just like really stupid. I want my character to look cool, I don't want him to look stupid. It's like, why are these choices even in the game, you know? It's like, no one wants to look stupid in Night City. Could have done better to make the characters look cooler, or the character clothing better pieces in general, instead of really ugly pieces. But yeah, number 3, Cyberpunk 2077. Overall, it was a good game for what it is, but ultimately disappointing. For my second game of 2020, it would have to be Spider-Man Miles Morales. So this was my first game on next gen, so I played on the PS5, and it was a lot of fun. It was a blast. It's just the overall experience, it probably felt the most complete game I've played this year. It's all bundled very nicely. I didn't really run into any bugs, maybe a small, like 1 or 2 bugs. For example, I am remembering now, I ran into a bug where for some reason I turned into like a lamp post, so my Miles Morales was suddenly swinging through New York as a lamppost. So I was like, what the heck? But nothing too crazy. That was about it. But the game overall, it was really good. The story, the gameplay, the music, it was all really good. I really enjoyed the characters, seeing Peter Parker, Miles Morales. Not really seeing much of Peter Parker, but like seeing Miles Morales and his character develop and how he kind of takes up the mantle of being a Spider-Man and what he can do by himself. I liked it. I liked seeing how he evolved, you know, from the beginning to the end. You really get to see character progression through that. The only biggest thing is a lot of people are complaining about how short the game is, but I felt like it was good. It wasn't too long or too short. I felt like it was just the right amount. The game also has a decent amount of side quests that you can do in the world, so you can use your phone to look through, have different side quests to do in the game. So it gives you a lot of content to do, and then some of the content, it's actually very rewarding story-wise, because story elements are tied into side quests as well, and then they give you good rewards. So like an incentive, for example, would be like they give you a suit for completing a certain story or a side quest storyline. So yeah, it's good how they balance it all out between the main story and side quests. Yeah, I liked it. Obviously the graphics are amazing. Next gen, well, it's cross gen, but on a next gen platform, it's really beautiful. It was a great game to play. The only downside I would say is that sometimes the side quests could be annoying to do. Like some of the things are kind of very video gamey, or open world, like trivial quests. So for example, like it got really repetitive where a character would be like, oh, hey Miles, let me mark these 10 items that you have to go on the map, and it's like it just pops up the map and it's like bloop, 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 and it shows like 10 things that I had to do. But then it happened like 3 times, so it's like 3 separate characters want me to go around the map and do these certain things, and I'm like, oh, like, are you serious right now? You know, it's like, come on, I don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. But yeah, that's the only downside I'd say, is just some trivial things like that. Just like kind of to drag out the runtime, I guess, the playtime. But yeah, overall, it was a good game. All right, for my number 1 game of the year, it is, drumroll please, dun, 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 dun. It is Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal is probably second for my most played game of 2020, behind Genshin. Doom Eternal, I just play that on and off every here and there because it's such a fun game to play. I really love it. At first I played it on console, so I played it on my Xbox One X, and that was a lot of fun playing through the game. I was very hyped from the release day of the game, so I stayed up at midnight just to play the game, and I had so much fun with it from the beginning till the end. The movement in the game is so fast. It's so fast paced, but so much of it you can be in control of, so it's not overwhelming or super crazy that you kind of don't know what to do, because you're always in control. The constant weapon switching and managing all of your tools and equipment is just so much fun. Everything about the game is just amazing. I'm kind of speechless right now because it's so good. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite first-person shooters ever. The music in the game is probably one of my favorites. I think it beats Doom 2016's soundtrack. I really love this soundtrack because it's really memorable. The riffs are very memorable. It always fits the mood of the game and the atmosphere. Overall, you're in it for the gameplay, and the gameplay is just super mesmerizing. Once you play, you're in a different world. You're in a certain flow, and it's just such a fun game. The only downside that people have had, but me personally I haven't had, is the swimming parts of the game, or platforming in general. I honestly didn't really mind them. It didn't really take that long to do them, and then once you go through those sections for the first time, once you replay the levels, you just get faster and faster, so you could do them like incredibly fast, so it doesn't take up any time at all. But I feel like those aspects of the game or some needed breaks to kind of separate the moments of action very well. But yeah, Doom Eternal it's such a fun game. Definitely my best game of the year. So those were my top 5 games of the year. I hope you guys have a good new year, or a good 2021 in general. And I hope this year brings a lot. Oh my god, we're going pretty fast. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, had a good New Year's, and I hope you guys are able to stay safe and take care this year. See you guys. Where's my Gary? Gary, now I know I was wrong. I messed up and now you're gone. Gary, I'm sorry I neglected you. Oh, I never expected you to run away and leave me feeling this empty. Your meow right now would sound like music to me. Please come home, cause I miss you, Gary. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. Gary, can't you see I was blind? I'll do anything to change your mind. More than a pet, you're my best friend. Too cool to forget, cut back cause we are family. And forgive me for making you wanna roam. Now my heart is beating like the saddest metronome. Somewhere I hope you're reading my latest 3-word poem. Gary, come home. 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 Come home. Gary, come home. Gary, won't you come home?